Good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You see my coffee smoking? This thing is like super hot. Woo! How's everybody's morning? It's Fresh Friday. And it's raining outside, you guys. It's gross. I'm hopping on a little late because I woke up a little late and then I had to take a shower, and it's just whenever it's raining, it just makes you want to stay in bed all day. But we got to get up. We got to do our thing. Oh, that coffee is hot, hot, hot. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, you guys, so Fresh Fridays. Good morning, Anthony, Mr. Tony. So you guys know Fresh Fridays are just about like anything and all things fresh. We could be talking about workouts. We could be talking about vitamins, supplements, eating healthy, nutrition, fresh, going outside, getting fresh air, like anything that's involved with being fresh, right? Well, I think another thing that's fresh is your mindset, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about today was mindset. So I feel like there's just been... I was actually on a Zoom call last night with a couple of my girls, and we were talking about mindset, and that's actually the topic that I went over in the very beginning of the call. And I just started to realize, like, you know what? As much as I love talking with my team and all that stuff, like, I want to talk to you guys too, because even though like the pandemic is kind of slowly starting to like come to an end and things are kind of getting back to normal, people are starting to go to work and, we're not stuck at home as much. Yes, there's protocols and procedures and the masks are still a thing and, gloves and all that kind of stuff. But I think that this pandemic caused a lot of depression, which there was already a lot of depression and anxiety and stress and all this stuff. And stress and stuff's always going to kind of be there, just because like it's life and nobody said life was going to be easy, right? But I feel like depression and anxiety and just your mindset alone is affecting a lot of people. And it could be with your home life. It could be with your relationships. It could be with your job. It could be, just with the situation you're in. Maybe you're not making a lot of money right now. Maybe you're really struggling living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you have kids to take care of too. And, some people are paying child support. Some people are just having to pay for their kids in general. There's a lot of people still staying at home. Like things are pretty crazy still right now. It was a lot crazier. And like I said, it's starting to calm down, but I think people like mindset is just such a big thing, you guys. And that's exactly what I was talking about last night on my Zoom call, was that we have to develop better mindsets. And I was listening to a little like YouTube podcast earlier, and if any of you are interested in it, it's from Tony Robbins. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but Tony Robbins is an incredible human being. And he's a motivational speaker, but he's also like an entrepreneur, and he just has done so many great things. But he talks real, and he talks about mindset, and he talks about success, and he talks about relationships, and he talks about so many things. But if you guys want to listen to that, like, just let me know, and I can always put it in the comments or whatever. But it's just like, it's a wake-up call, you guys. Like when you wake up, okay, you have a choice. You can either wake up and be negative, or you can wake up and be positive. That's really just kind of a no-brainer. You can wake up and hate the fact that you have to get out of bed and that you have to take a shower and you have to get dressed and you have to get ready for work. Or you can be positive that, hey, I woke up in a bed, in a house that's comfortable with electricity and running water, and I'm able to take a shower, and I can get up and I have clothes to put on my back, and I have a job to go to that pays me money, right? So there's two ways you can look at it. You could be really pissed or you could be really happy, right? So it's like, it's a choice every single day. And yes, you guys, like seriously, I wake up sometimes too and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to get up out of bed today. I do not want to do, this, that, or the other. But I get up and I do it anyway because you need to. That's how you develop your mindset, right? So I just have like, some notes and stuff. I always have my little notes for you guys. But it's like we have to have more motivation. We have to have better mindset control. We have to have more consistency and more consistent energy and a better flow and, you know, just like self-development, you guys. Self-development is so big. It's so much bigger than any of us could ever understand. For some of you that don't know me or my background or anything like that, just to give you like a short little tidbit of my life, like you guys, I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old. A lot of you probably don't know that. I'm 27, so I moved out of my house whenever I was 16 years old. I pretty much lived in a trap house, okay? I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with like 6 people. There was drugs in and out of the house all the time. It was absolutely crazy. I dropped out of school. Actually, I got expelled from school for fighting because they were sick and tired of my crap. I went to alternative school, which was pretty much like prison. And then didn't do that for very long. And then moved in with my, you know, like my brother, pretty much. He's been a friend of the family forever. And so I moved in with him. That didn't work out. Then I had to move in with my father. My father and me do not really have that great of a relationship. So that was, well, back then we didn't, now we do. But it's like, you guys, different things have happened and everybody has a background, okay? But me personally, like my mom's always been around and thankfully I have my husband now too. But it's like I had to grow and learn and be positive all on my own, okay? All on my own. And what did Sherry say? I need positivity for sure. Okay, so see, it's like you never know who you're talking to, right? You never know who's listening or who needs the positivity. Like everybody needs the positivity. Nobody wants to be stuck in a negative mindset. Nobody wants to be stuck in their past or anything like that. You guys, like I said, I do have a past, okay? But I don't let that past control my future. Yes, I didn't have, you know, I had a great childhood, don't get me wrong. My mother gave me the world. She always had, you know, put a roof over our head, food in our stomachs, clothes on our back, shoes on our feet. That was never an issue. It's not like I lived like, you know, crazy poor or anything. I had a you know, middle class lifestyle and that's okay. But then whenever I got a little older and I was in high school and stuff like that, I made bad decisions and I hung out with some of the wrong people. And some of those people I still love and talk to and care about and everything. Not all of them were bad people, but some of them were. And it got me in a lot of trouble. And like I said, I put myself in crazy situations as far as like, you know, getting expelled from school and having to, you know, go to an alternative school that was like a jail. And, you know, I mean, it was just like crazy. Okay. So but I had to pull myself out of that. Like nobody could do that for me. And now that I've come from where I've come from, like nobody helped me, you know, get my GED. I did that all by myself, you guys. Nobody helped me go to college for the first time. I had to figure out FAFSA and taxes and all these things. I had no freaking idea what the hell was going on, okay? I had then, whenever I went to college the first time, I got 6 months into me going to massage school, it closed down for bankruptcy. So then I had to figure out how to get transferred to another massage school to finish the rest of my 6 months because it was a year-long program. Well, you know what ended up happening? I had to start it all over again. So I ended up going to school to college for a year and a half instead of just a year, and it cost me like $16,000, you guys. Like it's not, and I'm still paying for it, okay? So it's like I had to go through all those trials and tribulations, and then I had to work to try to get it to be paid off. And then a year, I only did massage by itself for a full year. And then that following year, I ended up going to college again. And I had to figure all that out by myself as well. And that's when I started going to cosmetology school. So it's like I didn't have anybody lifting me up the ladder, okay? I had to pull myself up the ladder. So there's a big difference. And all of that comes from mindset. I could have dwelled on the past and I could have, you know, dwelled on the fact that I, you know, didn't have like both parents around and, you know, that I couldn't stay in my childhood home forever. And, you know, I have siblings that are ex-drug addicts, you know, I have like, my family's been around those types of issues and stuff like that. I could have let that hold me back. And to be completely honest, you guys, half of my family doesn't even talk to me, okay? And that's because of their own selfish reasons, not really because of anything that has to do with me. And I'm all about admitting when I'm wrong, but in the situations with even some of my family members, I'm not wrong. They are. So, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But I could dwell on all of that and have it ruin my life because I'm so upset that, oh, this person doesn't talk to me or my family doesn't talk to me, and I could sit here and cry and do all the things, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to prove to myself and prove to the people that don't believe in me that I will succeed and that I am going to accomplish it, whatever I want to accomplish. And I am going to have a mindset that's stronger than what theirs is, okay? So it's like it's almost kind of like you're having them fuel your fire, like the people that piss you off the most, that like are like, oh, you're never going to accomplish anything, you're never going to do anything. Okay, watch me. You know what I mean? Like you have to get in your head of, instead of letting somebody doubt you and tell you that you can't do this, you can't do that, and have it affect you, have it fuel you. Be like, okay, what the heck are you doing? You're not paying my bills. You're not writing my paycheck. You're not in my life all the time. Like, why do I care how you feel about me? If I want to be successful, or if I want to go, give back to the community, or if I want to, do whatever, then I can do that. Who are you to tell me that I can't do that? So it's like, let it fuel your fire. Don't let it control you. And that's how that little thing in a nutshell, for an example, that little thing right there is huge mindset, you guys. Just like everybody has a past, everybody has family problems, everybody has had issues in their life, whether it's family, relationships, marriages, children. I mean, we can go on and on for days. Siblings, co-workers, friends, I mean, whatever. But it's like, are you going to let those bad moments affect you in your future? Or are you going to learn from those moments, grow from those moments, and have them fuel your fire and realize you're not going to let that stuff happen again, and you're going to take control of your mind, and you're going to move forward. What's in the past is in the past for a reason. Let it go. I understand that, like, still things that have happened in their past, they come up in their future and stuff like that, and that happens, but deal with what you got to deal with, and then let it go. Let it go. Push it out, because you focusing on it, concentrating on it, dwelling on it, all those things, all it does is produce negativity in the mind. So when you think negativity and you put out negativity is just going to come right back to you, you guys. Like, it's a no-brainer. It doesn't stop, okay? But when you think positivity, you put out positivity is going to come back to you every single time. Every single time, okay? And what Sherry say? That's cool. You already make me want to push harder. Absolutely, Sherry. Like 100%, girl. Like, seriously, it's all about your mind. It's seriously all about your mind. It's crazy when you think about it, but it really is. Hi, good morning. Hello, Christina. It is. It's all about your mindset, and it's all about like self-control, self-development, you guys. Like, even me personally, like, and I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but like, I didn't really get into self-development until about, probably like back in maybe like August, September. So like that's not even a year ago, you guys, okay? So my husband's been in self-development for a super long time. He's, 7, 8 years older than me. So he's 35, I'm 27. So he's worked on self-development for many years, okay? Well, even whenever he tried to get me involved with self-development like 3 years ago, I was like, no, I don't read books. That's not my thing. That's crazy boring. Like, I don't listen to podcasts. Who the hell listens to podcasts? Like, I don't have time for that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was totally negative about it, but you can hear that in my voice. Like, I did not care at all. And what happened? Like, just because I was negative about it, negativity came back to me. But at the time, I wasn't realizing why it was so important. And then whenever we got involved in doing our 75 Hard program, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that program, but it's a challenge by Andy Frisella. It's really freaking awesome. If you've never heard of Andy Frisella, he's an awesome individual. He's a multi-millionaire. He is the owner of First Form, that's in like supplement superstores, and he owns like 7 other businesses. He worked like 10 years to develop like the person and the careers that he's in now, and was literally broke, lived out of his car for like 10 freaking years. And then now, it took him 10 years to be successful, but now look at him. He's, a multi-millionaire and has multiple businesses and employees and podcasts and all these things. Well, he developed a challenge that's called the 75 Hard, okay? So he was actually working at a nutritional company, and he was like 300 pounds. And one day he woke up and he looked himself in the mirror and he was like, how am I going to sell nutrition and be 300 pounds? Like, nobody's going to listen to me. Why would anybody listen to me? Like, what? Why? You know what I mean? And so he decided, you know, he kind of smacked himself in the face that day and was like, you know what? No, this has to end. And then eventually over time, he developed the 75 Hard, and it's a very, very strict, hard program, but it's mind, body, soul. It's not just about losing weight, stuff like that. It's about reading. It's about, you know, eating healthy. It's about, you know, exercising your mind and, you know, taking influences out like alcohol and stuff like that. Like, you can't drink. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside, because then you get that fresh air, you get that nature, you get all that stuff, right? Well, whenever he developed that, he didn't, you know, at first he was like, I can't freaking do this. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. But he did it though, and he's incredible now. You know what I mean? And he's not 300 pounds anymore, and all of his whole life has completely changed. But moral of the story is that I had to read books, right? And so, or I had to listen to podcasts, one of the two, because one of the rules was that you had to read 10 pages a day. And it was actually physically read 10 pages a day, like open up a book and have your fingertips touch the pages 10 pages a day, okay? So that was something I wasn't used to. You guys, up until this year, I've read one book front to back, one. And I was in like middle school when I did that, okay? So up until this year, I had not read another book front to back ever. Like, even whenever I was doing the 75 Hard Challenge, I was reading 10 pages. Like, I did do that every day. I did exactly what the challenge needed me to do. But I would read 10 pages of one book, and then I'd be like, I don't know. And then I'd grab another one, and I'd read 10 pages of that book, and I'd be like, I don't know. And it kept going and going. And I actually never finished a friggin' book. I mean, it was crazy, okay? But in that time, I realized how important it is to work on self-development. Your mindset is everything, you guys. It's everything. And a lot of people may not think that. They may be listening and they're like, oh, whatever, this girl's freaking crazy. She has no idea what she's talking about. No, seriously, listen to me when I tell you that reading books and gaining knowledge and information and growing yourself and listening to inspirational podcasts and listening to podcasts that are real, you guys, not this, phony whatever crap that is like out nowadays. But there's amazing podcasts that are out there that are real and legit, and they're actually talking about things that matter, and they're talking about your mindset and nutrition and things that are actually important. Like, if this pandemic taught me anything, it was that I was going to come out of it better than I came in it. And I definitely wasn't going to let what the government's doing and all these crazy protocols and all that stuff, it's not going to ruin my mindset. Just because the government's all jacked up and whatever, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Now, unfortunately, it does affect my life because we are all, stuck at home, and now people are finally starting to go back to work. But, you guys, I work in a hair salon and I do massages. So with that being said, I have to have I'm so close to people that I have to have a mask on constantly. That is crazy, okay? I'm healthy. There's no reason why I should have a mask on, but I have to understand, I have to obey protocol and stuff like that. So these things are affecting my life, but I'm not going to let it affect my mind, okay? It's not going to make me negative. Yes, does it piss me off I have to wear a mask? Do I really not want to wear one? No, I don't. And I have no issue telling anybody that. I think it's the dumbest thing to wear a mask. I'm a healthy individual that takes care of myself. I have no underlying conditions. So why do I have to put myself in a mask where I'm breathing in all of my carbon dioxide instead of breathing in fresh air? It's absolutely pointless, makes absolutely no sense. But I want to be respectful, and I want to make sure that people feel safe and comfortable, and I'm going to do what I need to do, and that's totally okay. But I'm not going to let it affect my mind, okay? Not happy about it, but I'm not going to let any of it affect my mind, my brain, anything, okay? So, all about self-development, read books, listen to podcasts, educate yourself, gain more knowledge. It helps you grow as a person. Anytime anybody has a conversation with you, don't you want to be able to talk? You know what I mean? So the more you educate yourself, the more subjects you can talk about, right? So educate yourself, grow as a person, and you don't even have to like listen to podcasts or read books that you enjoy, because there's other people out there that enjoy them too. So you can have conversations with people about that stuff, you know? You're all growing and we're all developing together, okay? Also, you guys, one of the biggest things I feel like is, like, especially with depression and different things like that, we let the depression and the stress and the anxiety take over so much that we can't get out of it. But when you really, really think about it, you putting yourself in that kind of mindset does absolutely nothing for you, okay? Being depressed, it happens, you guys. I've gone through depression before too, okay? I know what it feels like. It's awful, okay? I do not wish it on my worst enemy. It's just an awful feeling when you feel like you're stuck inside your own brain and you don't know how to get out of it and you're not happy. There's so many reasons. I mean, I remember whenever I was going through my depression, I was like crying every other day for absolutely no freaking reason. I mean, one time my mom's actually on right now. Hi, Mommy. Good morning. I remember one time I went out to dinner with my mom and my husband, and my mom looked at me and she was like, Catherine, what is wrong with you? Like, you don't act like this. What is wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. And I started just like bawling. And we're in like the middle of Texas Roadhouse, you guys. Like, it wasn't a good moment, okay? And I wasn't like loud or causing a scene or anything like that. But I was just very emotional and I really just didn't understand why. And I even said that to my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't know why I feel the way I feel. I really don't, okay? And still to this day, you guys, I really couldn't tell you why I was in a depressive mindset. I think that whenever I kind of break it down, I feel like I think it was because I've been so independent for so long and I've been working on myself for so long, and I have, done everything by myself. I haven't really asked for any help. I mean, my mother can even, vouch for that. It's like, I don't ask my parents for money. I've done everything by myself. And then whenever I got married, as excited as I was, and I love my husband and we have a wonderful relationship and I wouldn't change it for the world, I didn't have to work as much and I didn't have to stress as much. He took that stress off of me and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I have been trying to survive my entire life and now I don't have to. I never thought past that. So I was like, I didn't think that I would have to I would ever get to this point where I can work when I want to work and I don't really have to work, like obviously I have to work now. I want to work as much as I can and before I have kids. But it's like, I just never thought that I wouldn't have to struggle, okay? So it was very, very difficult for me to let that go. And I still have moments where I'm like, gosh, like, oh, how do I do this? Like, I want to be able to pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that, because I've been so used to it. I feel like whenever I'm not putting in, like, if I'm not paying a bill or I'm not trying to survive or I'm not trying to do something, I'm a bum. Like, that's literally how I feel inside. So whenever I got married and everything was great, I didn't have to work as much. I still work. I work 4 or 5 days a week. But I was working like 6, 7 days a week before, you guys, okay? And I had like 3 jobs. Now I just have my 2 and they're all at one location and it's whatever. But it's like, I just didn't know what to do. So I think not having so much to do and not constantly having to be at a job, it put me in a depressive mindset. And I just didn't know how to get myself out of it. I was like, oh, well, nobody needs me. I don't need to do anything. Like, this is boring. Like, I don't have to go to work as much. I don't have to pay as many bills. I don't have to stress as much. I don't have to, survive like I was before. I don't have to, then why am I even here? What is my purpose? Why am I even here? And so I lost myself, you guys. I lost myself. I lost my purpose. I didn't understand why. What am I here for then if I'm not here to survive? And then as I started doing self-development, I realized that's the biggest load of BS ever, okay? Like, depression is all your mindset. You choose to lay in that bed until 3 p.m. and be depressed and think about all the things that have happened in your life that you're so upset about, blah, blah, blah. That's a choice. Or you can pick the other choice and you can get up and do something about it. Prove yourself wrong. Prove the people that don't believe in you wrong. Like, let it fuel your fire, like I said. So what Sherry say, that's what I have, anxiety and depression. I wish it would go away. See, and it's hard, okay? It's really hard. And that's why self-development is so huge. It really is, because it put me in a mindset to where, you know what? One, okay, I want to do what makes me happy. I want to do that's good. I want to do things that are going to be best for me and my family and the situation that I'm in my life, and what's also going to make my future better, right? Okay, because I'm not just worried about the present time right now. I'm worried about my future. I don't give two craps about the past, okay? I understand that there's things back there that I have to deal with sometimes and I have to overcome, but no matter what, I don't bring that crap into my present and into my future. The past is in the past for a reason. I do focus on my present, but I also focus on my present so much that I'm developing my future as well. So I don't just stop at right now. I'm also thinking about 10 years from now, okay? So it's just, you have to develop a mindset to where you choose, okay? It's all a choice. You have to choose. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be miserable? I really hope that you want to be happy, because a miserable life is not worth it, you guys. It's not freaking worth it. So wake up every day and be thankful for the things you have around you. Like, yes, there may be some crazy stuff going on. Yes, you may be going through depression, anxiety, stress, your family's crazy, your kids are crazy, your job's crazy, who knows, okay? Whatever your crazy is, yes, it's there. It's totally there, okay? I have crazy too, okay? We're not in it alone, right? I'm in it with you. But you have to wake up every day and do things that make you happy. The moment you open up your eyes, maybe spend, 5 minutes or 10 minutes just either, if you're religious, thank God. God, thank you so much for opening up my eyes this morning. God, thank you for giving me a roof over my head and clothes on my back and a comfortable bed to lay in and a shower that has running water. Like, realize that there's so many awesome, beautiful things that are in your life that you should be grateful and happy about, and move on from there. And then when you're in the shower, you're getting ready or whatever, put on some awesome upbeat music that gets you in the mood. It could be the same song every single morning. If that's what works for you, then that's great. Your husband or your wife or whatever or your kids may look at you and be like, seriously, you're listening to that same song again? You listen to that for 3 days now. Okay, well, this is what pumps me up. You go listen to your own damn music or whatever, So it's like, let me do my thing. This is my morning routine. Like, that's what you can do. Or you can put on a podcast that pumps you up, that makes you feel better. You guys, there's millions of them out there, okay? Like, I'll give you a few. You can listen to Ed Milet. He's an amazing professional speaker, okay? Incredible. Ed Milet, awesome. And he interviews people with incredible backgrounds, you guys, like things that will make you cry because you can't believe the stories that they have and the people they've become now, okay? So Ed Milet. You have Andy Frisella. Now with Andy Frisella, I will tell all of you that he is he's vulgar, okay? And not in a like a raunchy way, but he cusses a lot. So if that's something that you cannot handle, that's not going to be the podcast for you, okay? There's another one, Often Ambitious. Two amazing women in their early 30s that are incredible, okay? They pump you up, they motivate you, they're goofy, they're funny, they make you laugh, they make you cry, like all the things. They're incredible people. Savage Soul. Christina Parney is amazing, okay? She talks about so many different things. So those are even just a couple podcasts, okay? There's so many other ones too. There's Tony Robbins. There's, Dave Ramsey, I think is what his name is. Who's another one? John Maxwell. Oh my gosh, if you guys have never listened to him, you have to listen to him. He's incredible. He's actually a mentor for one of the companies that I work for. And then books, you guys. Motivational books, they're everywhere, okay? So many books. If you guys have never read You're a Badass by Jen Sincero, I believe is what her name is, read it. Read it. It's incredible. It pumps you up just by reading the first page. And it's a very real like conversation. She kind of puts in a little cuss word here and there, and you know, it seems like she's actually talking to you in person, like this day and age, okay? Not saying that cussing is like, you know, whatever, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's just, it feels a little bit more relatable, I guess is my point. But there's so many incredible books, you guys, that you can listen to. If you want more information on books, if you need help getting like, you know, some motivation or anything, message me. I will send you different books you can listen to. I'll send you podcasts you can listen to, things that have helped me. You guys, I'm normal just like you, okay? Like I have suffered from depression. I get stressed out occasionally. I don't want to get up whenever it's gloomy and rainy and stuff outside. I have the same mindset too. It's just I make a choice in the morning to wake up happy and not miserable, okay? I make a choice to be as successful as I can every single day. And even if I don't hit all of my goals or my dreams or things don't come true right away, that's okay. I'm consistent. So the consistency is going to pay off, okay? So regardless, I had to talk about mindset because I feel like it's so important, and I feel like so many people suffer from depression, anxiety, stress, all the things. And you guys, that's just a little demon on your shoulder telling you you're not good enough and that you're not worth it and whatever. Push that sucker off of your shoulder and let him fall to the floor, okay? And listen to the angel that you really are, okay? Because you are beautiful and you are strong and you can do it. And don't let anybody tell you you can't. You can. If you want to be successful, or if you want to go out and go get something, or if you want to do something, do it. Literally, you need to build confidence, you need to destroy fear, and you need to do it through action. That's the only way to do it, you guys. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to build confidence. You have to be confident in the person you are. Because if you're not, people see that. People smell bullshit a mile away. And we all know it, okay? So it's like if you're not confident in yourself, you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect anybody else to have confidence in you or believe in you? You have to feel it inside first. And that's exactly why mindset and self-development is so important. And that's what is fresh, okay? Having a fresh mind and getting into books, podcasts, learning, gaining knowledge, getting out of your comfort zone, growing, succeeding, being consistent, it all leads to success in whatever way you want it to, okay? Whether it's jobs, you know, relationships, marriages, kids. When you're positive and you believe, success will come every single time. But you have to be consistent. You have to. Because if you let yourself down, if you set goals for yourself and then you're like, every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to listen to a motivational podcast, and you don't do it, you almost lose yourself in that moment, okay? You lose yourself right then because you just failed in your own mind. You're like, shit, I told myself that I was gonna, you know, listen to motivational podcasts every single morning and I didn't do it. And now you feel bad because you didn't do it. Well, you know what? Don't make that choice. Okay, maybe you didn't listen to it this morning. Listen to it today. It's okay. Just as long as you get it done in the day, it's okay. Don't stress yourself out. You just listen to it before you go to bed instead of maybe in the morning if you don't have time. Listen to it in the afternoon when you get a break, or maybe you're driving home. Instead of listening to the radio, listen to a book or a podcast. Do something like that, okay? But just don't fail yourself. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. So be positive, be happy, motivate yourself, read your books, listen to your podcast, get out of your comfort zone, kick depression in the ass and let it go, okay? Let it go. Bye-bye. Should we put Frozen on? Let it go, okay? Like, just let it go. Kick the demon off your shoulder and listen to the angel that you are, okay? Like, I believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. So I'm going to end it with that, you guys. Like I said, be positive, stay motivated, do your thing. Don't let depression, like, control you and take over your body. Like, have a good mindset and work on your self-development. Because once you realize how important it is, you're never, ever going to want to let it go. Ever, 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 okay? Having a strong mind is super important. So I have 2 quotes for you guys. One of these I've told you guys before, but this other one's really good. So it says, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Constant consistency and hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. And I thought that was really awesome, okay? So that's from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, so the other one is fear. Fear has 2 meanings, you guys, okay? This is actually 1, I've told you guys this before, and 2, I said this on my Zoom last night because it's so true and it works for every single situation, okay? So fear has 2 meanings. You can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. The choice is 100% yours. So you can forget everything and run and get depressed and have anxiety and get down on yourself and talk negative about yourself and be negative and put negative out, and negative comes back to you and you're miserable. Misery loves company, blah, blah. Or you can literally face it all and rise and become better because of it and believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself. You have to build confidence and destroy fear through action. Plain and simple. You have to take action. You have to work on self-development. You have to do it. You have to. It's the only way that you can really grow and learn, okay? So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live. What did my husband say? Don't stay still, take action. Exactly. So he believes the exact same way I do, right? So it's like, don't stay still, take action. That's the only way to go. So you have a choice today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Are we going to be happy? Are we going to be negative? Are we going to be miserable? Are we going to be excited and positive? Which one are we going to choose, okay? So I hope you guys choose happiness every single day, all the time, and kick depression out of here and just let it go, okay? Let the past be the past, let your depression go, and be excited for the person you are and who you're going to become, because it's going to be something great. You just have to believe it, okay? So I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today. I will see you tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Mother's Day, which I'll probably tell you that again tomorrow. But again, love you guys. Live legit out. Love you, love you, love you.